You ever noticed how you ask an expert a question and they're like, oh yeah, it depends. They'll start giving you more context-based advice. And you hate that. What you actually want is like very specific advice. And that's actually the wrong way of looking at it. People ask me, they're like, is this healthy or unhealthy? And I'm like, well, it depends on you, right? Tell me more about you. And when was the last time you had it? And how'd your body react to it? Healthy for you might mean something very different to somebody else. Hello, hello. Welcome to Healthy Systems Podcast. Today's episode is related to brown sugar. Is brown sugar healthy for you? And again, I'm not a registered dietitian. I'm not a medical doctor. So all the advice I give you is from practical standpoint. Take it or leave it. But this has just been my experience. So lately, brown sugar, I think, has gotten more commonly, like it's becoming more popular and rightfully so. When you look at like the sugar processing, and I learned this when I was in Costa Rica, I was visiting and I saw the sugar cane farms and how they process sugar from like the actual plant to getting us in the store in the table sugar form. So he said brown sugar is healthy because brown sugar is less processed than white sugar. And like this farmer was explaining it very well. And it made sense, even conventional wisdom, if you go up to your elders, your grandparents, even your parents, like most people understand that brown sugar is healthier than regular sugar. But what if you're a type 2 diabetic, right? Should you, instead of using table sugar, should you start using brown sugar in your tea every day? Like, how would that help? So this is a similar case that happened in my family recently. My mom is a type 2 diabetic, and she, recently, like about 6 months ago or so, somebody told her that, hey, instead of using Equal or Splenda or Stevia, like these artificial sweeteners, instead of using those, go back to brown sugar. Sounds like a good conventional idea, right? Why not? And seems to make sense. Why opt for processed things when you can have like a natural brown sugar? And here was the problem. We started using it. And this also emphasizes the point on whose advice not to listen to. Because sometimes people give you good advice, but it's not good for you. So just be very careful. So she started using brown sugar in her, morning chai and evening chai. And, we're Pakistani, so we like our chai. And she's drinking it. And then the other day she tells me, she's like, man, like my blood sugar has been very high lately. And last night I was having a headache. It was tough to fall asleep. So we checked her faster blood sugar and it was in the over 200s. Like it was very high for her normal. And I remember being like, Mom, what changes did you make to your diet recently? She's telling me, she's like, I added brown sugar instead of that. And I was like, boom, that might be it. Let's go back to what was working well for your body, which is just adding like a packet of stevia or an Equal or a Sweet and Low. Just because a little bit of sweetness doesn't kill you. And the thing is, artificial sweeteners are getting a lot of hate lately. But the thing is, in moderation, everybody, if you drink too much water, you will die. Okay. If you eat too much broccoli, yeah, you will die too. So it's like at the end of the day, moderation. Like, why have we forgotten moderation? If you just put one packet of little Equal in your cup of coffee, I promise you'll be just fine. Okay. So at the end of the day, I was like, Mom, why don't you just go back to that? What was working? And she did. And then I was like, okay. And then she's like, you know what? I also want to do one other thing. She's like, I don't have time to go to the gym with you, but how about like we go for a walk every night after dinner? And I was like, hell yeah, Mom, I'm totally down. Like it's super nice out at night and yeah, we'd love to go. And in my area, like we see the stars and the moon and it's beautiful. So we started like after dinner, she started going on walks with me and we go for like a good 20 to 30-minute walk. And just those two small changes alone, she was telling me yesterday, she's been measuring her blood sugar and is back down to like the healthy 100s, right? Fasted blood sugar. And that's for type 2 diabetic. That's pretty remarkable. And I was thinking, I was like, okay, if my mom, instead of like doing this own food research and talking to me, if she had gone to her medical doctor, they would have totally increased her metformin dosage or put her on insulin. They were like, oh my God. Like, because medical doctors, you look at like somebody with a hammer, everything looks like a nail, right? So as medical doctors, when they look at a patient, they only have like one real tool, which is more medication or adjusting the dose of the medication. Like that's the tool they have. Medical doctors are not trainers. They're not going to tell you to go exercise. Hell, in this body positivity movement, if you tell somebody to go exercise, they get offended, right? So like doctors are not going to do that. So at the end of the day, for my mom, would work really well with just making that one change into her daily life from switching from brown sugar to, one packet of Equal or a stevia or something like that, artificial sweetener that just sweetens the chai, but like it doesn't spike her insulin level, right? And that's very, very important. Knowing your body and just realizing that anything in moderation is good. Conventional advice like brown sugar is healthy does not work for my mom. And you have to have that awareness. Okay. People are going to give you a lot of myths. People share their advice very openly, especially when they're not an expert. You ever noticed how you ask an expert a question and they're like, oh yeah, it depends. They'll start giving you more context-based advice. And you hate that. What you actually want is like very specific advice. And that's actually the wrong way of looking at it, right? People ask me, they're like, is this healthy or unhealthy? And I'm like, well, it depends on you, right? Tell me more about you. And when was the last time you had it? And how'd your body react to it, right? That like healthy for you might mean something very different to somebody else. So at the end of the day, those two things help my mom. And I was just super happy to hear that, right? And I hope that helps you, where sometimes we think something is healthy because Aunt Susie said so. But Aunt Susie's already out of shape. She's never gotten any education in nutrition, and like her understanding of anything health related is very, very minimal, right? And you have to know who to go to for advice. And I think oftentimes, if you can track your own nutrition, a lot of the answers lie in there. So lately, if you've been feeling, moody and depressed, or you're feeling down, or if your blood sugar is high, look at your nutrition intake. Look at what you're eating right now. Maybe the answers are in there. Maybe you're not getting a certain nutrient. Maybe your body is missing certain thing. Maybe your workout performance has gone down, and that could be due to your carb intake. Maybe like your body's not able to recover. That could be due to your protein intake. Maybe your brain is not like fully there. Like you feel like you're working, but you're not really working. Maybe that's an electrolyte deficiency, right? Sometimes it's a vitamin D deficiency. Like start looking at those things instead of running to the doctor. Because I promise you, I love the doctors. I worked in healthcare for 8+ years, and I have huge admiration for that. I coach a lot of doctors, but I can tell you that running to your doctor for things like that, they don't have the solution, because healthcare was not invented to optimize your health. It was invented to prevent disease. Like it's a very, very, very different thing, right? So when you go to a doctor, they're just trying to prevent disease. They're just trying to prevent, getting you to like a high level of type 2 diabetes, but they're not actually focused on curing your type 2 diabetes. They're not going to give you those solutions. They're not trained for that. They're not meant for that, right? And like I said earlier, anybody with a hammer, everything looks like a nail. And so you don't want to go to Aunt Susie for weight loss advice, because Aunt Susie's overweight, right? So like, why go to her, right? Come to Coach Mo and I might be able to guide you. But overall, this is not a medical advice. I'm not a registered dietitian or a medical doctor. This is just somebody with some education in the nutrition world who's coached hundreds and hundreds of people. I'm just giving you from my experience and what worked for me. Because at age 17, 18, I was also diagnosed pre-diabetic. And how it turned that around was not taking medication, but it was through strength training, exercise, proper sleep, hydration, understanding nutrition, tracking my nutrition, really understanding how my body reacts to certain things. And that level of awareness will put you leaps and bounds ahead of other people, especially when it comes to your health. So is brown sugar healthy? Well, it depends on you. But overall, also know that artificial sweeteners are not unhealthy. I guess that makes sense. So at the end of the day, for you, do your own test. If your body feels better with the stevia, like if you don't like Equal because it disturbs your stomach, or a Sweet and Low, or a Splenda, it bothers your stomach, go for a stevia, which is a plant-based, monk fruit type. And you can also use monk fruit. So you can use the plant-based sweeteners. But at the end of the day, I would rather you use those than like use something like brown sugar, which has extra calories, which also might spike your insulin, right? So it's like things like that. So for you, do your own little research. And the best way to do your research is not to read BuzzFeed articles. The best way to do research is to actually apply it on your body and see how your body reacts, right? Let's say you think of it like experiment. I had this for breakfast and I felt this way. I felt super productive. But then yesterday I had pancakes for breakfast and I took a nap at 10 a.m., right? Like do your own experiments. When I say do your research, that's what I mean. Do your own experiments on your body, see what your body does super well with. And that's why you see over time, people that have been in shape for long periods of time, like 10+ years, those of us, we eat very similar foods every day. And to an outsider, that looks boring. That looks like, oh my God, he eats the same blame food every day. But it's because we've experimented enough with different foods that we found out what works best for us. And when you find out what works best for you, you actually just stick with it. Okay? So I hope this helps. And if you want more topics like this, I would love to cover more nutrition specific details, because that's my day job, everybody. I'm a fitness nutrition coach. And I work with clients all day, man. I literally have like 10 to 12 client consultations a day. And this is what I do for a living. So if you have any questions on that or any topics you want me to cover more, I would love to cover. Just message me on Instagram or Facebook at Mo Ghias, MOEGHIAS. And just mention that you're a listener of Healthy Systems Podcast, and I'll also send you a little gift. And until the next one, I'll see you on that one. Take care. Thank you for listening to the Healthy Systems podcast. I really appreciate you for tuning in today. Now, here are 2 ways I can help you for free. One, you can join our free Facebook community by just going to this link, bit.ly/Titan Facebook group. Just type that into your browser and then answer 2 questions, and then we'll let you into our Facebook community where you'll meet other people, as well as we have a lot of free resources in terms of meal plans, workouts, all kinds of stuff in there. Second way I can help you for free is if you follow me on Instagram at Mo Gaius, MOE, G as in George, H as in horse, I as in India, A as in apple, S as in Sam. Follow me there and then shoot me a message with the word Healthy Systems, and then I'll be sure to send you a free gift. Other than that, keep listening in, and I really appreciate you.